Okay, what's up? It's your boy Sean P back again. Um, and if you can, definitely check out my last video. We talk about the whole 21 Savage and Nas shakeup about hip hop relevancy. Definitely hear my comments on that. So next, let's get back into it. King's Disease 3. Where does it stack up in 2022 as far as the best albums? And let's get back into the hip hop album of the year debate. We've been checking in from time to time. I've been giving you my top 5, top 7, top 10 albums from time to time, but we got about a month to go in 2022. And where does King's Disease 3 stack up? We've had a full week to listen, and it's getting rave reviews everywhere. Where does it stack up? So we're gonna go through it, and we're gonna talk what matches up with this album, and of course I'm gonna start. We know we gotta address it. This is the first year, I would say, that you had the leader of the one generation, the leader of the other generation going head to head, and that's Nas and Kendrick Lamar. Let's get right to it. King's Disease 3 versus Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This is the first time you really have Kendrick Lamar and Nas facing off as far as two of the greatest to ever do it, putting out quality projects. I shouldn't say that. 2012 was Good Kid, Mad City versus what was it? Not I love this album too. Versus oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. Well, anyway, they faced off in 2012. I don't know. I can't believe. I'll get back to it, but we got another face-off with Kendrick Lamar and Nas, and right now, I think you have to say they're neck and neck. I don't want to be a creature of the moment and give it right to Nas, but right now I have 4 to 5 albums in my top 5. I got King's Disease 3, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Pusha T, It's Almost Dry. I still got Benny the Butcher, Tana Talk 4. I know people have kind of waned on that album, but I think it's the best street album of the year still. I would definitely say that's my top 4 right now, and all of them are 8.5 out of 10. I would say they're all 9 out of 10 quality albums. Now, in the end of the day, I'm listening to King's Disease 3 more and more, and I'm thinking to myself that it's probably going to end up being my number 1, probably this year. Just that's the cohesiveness with Nas and Hit Boy. I mean, his beats are hitting him like a glove, and the content, the beats on there, the beat switch ups, the energy, it's all there. There are a couple of songs on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers that I kind of skip over and have kind of lost some replay value. I still think Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. But I think this Nas album may edge that out right now. But I don't want to be a creature of the moment. I think they are in the discussion for that. I still think Benny the Butcher is the best street album of the year. It's just I love the street energy that Benny's bringing right now, and him and Alchemist fit each other like a glove. And at the same time, I think Pusha T's album probably had the best production slash features of the year. I love the way that album was produced and put together. Look at Kanye West and Pharrell. So it's a war, man. It's a war with all of those guys. I think another guy that's coming in there that's kind of crept up there. And at first, I know said it was a 7.5 to 8 out of 10, but Freddie Gibbs is back in this conversation. I think he rounds out my top 5 right now. And Young Jeezy, with his mixtape Snowfall, rounds out number 6 right now. So at the top, I got Nas, Pusha T, Kendrick, and Benny the Butcher all vying for number 1. Then I would probably say Freddie Gibbs and Jeezy are about an 8.5 out of 10, definitely vying for the 5 and the 6 spots. And then after that, it's such a crapshoot because I think from 7 to 10, I mean, you got Ransom, No Rest for the Wicked. I mean, Ransom had a strong project. I mean, he never slipped. I would say he still got Joey Badass, which I think the energy from that kind of came down a bit. It's kind of a down-tempo, smooth vibe album. But I would probably say those are my 7 and 8. And those are my 7 and 8. I would say 9 would probably be I would probably have to say 9 and 10 would be I would throw either 21. I would throw 21 Savage and Drake a bone, and say they were my 9, and maybe Cheat Codes at my number 10. But just to add on, I didn't do a formal review of it, but this is kind of a impromptu review. But I would say Dave East and DJ Drama. That the album that they just put out is fire, man. It's fire. That could be creeping in my top 10. I would definitely say that. This album and it's the Book of David really has impressed me. You know what I mean? As far as Dave East. Now Dave East put out another project this year that was really good earlier. You know what I mean? He put out another joint earlier this year too. So it's like he's got a really strong year. So I would even say the Book of David, you know, would be at least an honorable mention in my top 10. And I'd probably have to still say Little Durk would be an honorable mention. You could go so many ways in honorable mentions this year, man. I mean, French Montana had a strong project. You know what I mean? 38 Special. I mean, another one, Conway the Machine. That's another one we forget about. Conway the Machine kicked this year off. I'll probably have to say, I'd say it this way. I'd probably say, album-wise, I'd probably have to say that Nas is my tentative number 1, edging out Kendrick Lamar, who's my number 2. Number 3 would probably be Pusha T. 4 would be Benny the Butcher. 5, I'd probably have to give to Freddie Gibbs right now. That's a strong top 5. And then 6 would be Jeezy. 6 would be Jeezy, definitely. 7, I would probably ride with Ransom. 8, I'd probably go with Joey Badass. at my 8th spot. 9, I would probably go Drake's Her Loss. And 10, I'd probably go with Conway the Machine. I'd probably go with Conway the Machine's project. So that's my top 10, a very strong, diverse top 10. I would probably go with my honorable mentions. I'd probably go with Cheat Codes right now. And probably Book of David right now. Now, Book of David's going to shoot up in that top 10. I just started listening to it, but Dave East definitely would be in there. And you could even mention his earlier album from this year as, I think it was HINDH, as a possible top 10 project. There's so many ways you can go this year hip hop wise. I mean, I would also say Lil Durk put out a strong project. Key Glock put out a deluxe version. It was really 2021 album that he put out. I mean, Young Roddy, Denzel Curry came out with something. I think Denzel Curry, to me, his album kind of waned. It kind of came off to me as like a lesser version of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But it was a well-done album. I could probably say that's an honorable mention. That's an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. You know what I mean? But you could go deep with a lot of quality albums. Even the JID project, which I wasn't too high on, that was quality. You know what I mean? So there's a lot. And there's a lot of street albums that came out. You know what I mean? I think underrated ones were some New York hip hop. I think French Montana put out a good project, and also Jim Jones and Mano. Now that's more New York centric hip hop, but what I will say is they surprised me. They surprised me because I was really entertained by that. But right now, yeah, I would probably have to go with Nas as the tentative number 1. I think he's edged out Kendrick Lamar. But again, we're a weekend and things will change. I'm gonna go back and give a good listen to all the top albums this year. Stay tuned for our end of the year review. Definitely, we're gonna have to do that. Our end of 2022 review, which is, believe it or not, is really coming up. It's only 6 or 7 weeks away. It's not that far from the end of the year, but definitely check that out. Oh, and also another one, honorable mention, is ESTG. That's another one, man. That's another one. ESTG, he impressed me. Him, I would probably have to say ESTG, Mano, and Jim Jones probably surprised me the most, along with French Montana. Because ESTG is a great trap album, great hip hop. So Nas, he's in the conversation for album of the year right now, if not hands down the album of the year. So with that, I'm gonna get back. We're gonna do some more reviews, more topics in the next couple of weeks, and definitely, I may do a formal review of Book of David, Dave East. Stay tuned for that because I just started listening to that, but I'm impressed. That's some really good soulful hip hop. Definitely check that out. All right, so I'll get to that. And enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday afternoon. All right, peace.